via VIPBoxing.tv and Only Full Fights, brought to us by Facebook. 4 3-minute rounds of boxing in the middleweight division this contest. Introducing to you firstly boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the black leather shorts trimmed with silver. Underweight he scaled 10 stone, 13 pounds, 8 ounces. Tonight is his 59th professional appearance. Presenting from Driffield, here is Lethal Danny Little. And opposing him, boxing out of the red corner, wearing the white leather shorts trimmed with gold and black. Underweight he scaled 11 stone, 3 pounds. From one contest, he has 1 win. Presenting from Rochdale, Mohammed. Timekeeper once more, referee Jamie Kirkpatrick from Preston, 4 3-minute rounds.
And just a reminder tonight, as part of the Black Friday promotions, VIP BE boxing equipment designed by Jamie Moore. You can get 30% off all the boxing gloves and training equipment as long as you use the code VIPTV30 when making your order. We'll be highlighting that all night for you, and also we'll try and put a tweet out before we finish tonight. So again, Muhammad Ali comes out. As you said last time, he looked quite an accomplished fighter. He faded a little bit in the last round of his last fight, so it'll be interesting to see if he cranks it up for the 4th round in this one.
Yeah, he'll certainly be looking to put that right tonight, because it was a great 3 round, wasn't it, on his debut? Like we mentioned earlier when Adam Farrell made his debut, that's often the case.
Yeah, so that's something that we can look for in terms of his progression tonight. His opponent, Danny Little, 7 wins, 49 losses, 2 draws. Out of his 7 wins, 1 of them was come by knockout. He looks like he had his game face on when he walked into the ring tonight as well, Danny.
Yeah, he's certainly one of these guys that test you, and if you're not on top of your game, you'll get found out against a guy like Danny Little. So Ali's going to have to be good, and he started really well, picking his shots nicely. Yeah. Got a really strong jab.
And Danny picked up a little bit of form around about this time last year. He got a couple of wins. In the December of last year, he beat Jordan Clayton in 5 rounds, and then in February of this year, he beat Tony Mills over 6, decision win. And after that, it's been a steady sequence of defeats. But that little brace of wins shows that he can pop up with a result every now and then. Yeah,
100%. And he's not just going to roll over and let you in. That's one thing about Danny Little. He's always been one of these guys that does come in there to win. And Ali training at the Elite Gym with Alex Matvienko. Good sparring there with Jack Flatley. He'll be learning a lot from Jack every day in the gym.
Yeah, and he can get a bit of advice off Alex as well. He was a decent pro, came through these type of shows as well. Alex Matvienko, the one-man riot. So he'll be learning a lot of stuff in the gym. Muhammad Ali, and hopefully he'll be bringing that into the fights.
A lovely left hook to the body pick there from Ali.
Yeah, that's kind of been the punch of the night tonight. We've seen a lot of left hooks to the body going in, a lot of good body work. Luke Evans looked particularly effective when he was throwing that shot. Less effective when he decided not to use it.
Yeah. It's been a decent opening couple of minutes this though. Nothing spectacular, but he's certainly winning the round.
Yeah, Little had his game face coming to the ring, but he's been a bit subdued. He's got the incredible Hulk tattooed on his back, as well as Deadpool as well, so we'll be hoping for a marvellous performance.
It's only a matter of time before one of them got thrown in.
Yeah, we had to slip the odd one through. I was like a fighter who saw the opportunity and just took it.
And you can see Danny Little's already reddened a little bit on the right hand side of his body where that left hook's landing.
And he's concentrating on what he's doing, Ali, as well. As you say, he's working his way around with that left hook to the body. And he's a solid looking unit as well.
Yeah, and without looking spectacular, he certainly got the job done in this opening round. And any nerves he had getting into the ring will certainly be out of the way now. Lovely work to the body again.
Yeah, and he doubled up the body attack that time, a left hook and a right hook to the body, so that's a decent first round for him. I imagine Alex Matvienko will be asking for more of the same after that round as well, and telling him to keep his powder dry a little bit for the 4th round as well.
Yeah, people don't realise the 4 3-minute rounds, it is a long time to be in there, and you've got to have a very high fitness level to even be able to do the 4 3-minute rounds. Especially with all the nervous energy you have on your debut as well.
Yeah, you always want to avoid the risk of dropping around as well, maybe having a drawn round and having to chase it. So it's a good high octave start there for Ali, and hopefully he keeps it up for the remainder of the fight.
He looks nice and calm in that corner anyway.
And Danny Little's remained on his feet between rounds. We've seen that a couple of times tonight. I'm not a big fan of it. I can't see the upside to it, but George Foreman used it to great effect, so maybe there's something to it.
Yeah, what do we know?
Yeah, very little, I'd say.
You can see the doctors in the corner of Muhammad Ali, and they have to check his blood sugar levels every round, don't they? You know, he's the first guy to ever have to do this, and so far it's not causing him any problems. And you just hope that doesn't cause him issues going forward.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if it did. Obviously, the board have got very stringent medical provisions, so it's nice to see that they're taking it as seriously as everyone else in terms of the health of the fighter. And as you say, it's just a precautionary thing, just to make sure that everything's as it should be. And as you say, he created a big stir. Muhammad Ali turning professional. The first person with diabetes to do it. Sky Sports have taken an interest. I believe we had 13 press applications just to watch him tonight, so he's obviously got quite a lot of support in his corner. Yeah,
and in a strange sort of way, it could be the making of him as a fighter, but it makes him stand out among the hundreds and thousands even of prospects we have up and down the country boxing every week. He's got a different story.
Yeah, and the publicity, especially for some a corporation like Sky, is a huge bonus for a fighter. It can take fighters almost their entire career to reach the level where they're getting mentioned by Sky Sports or being featured on there. So, I should say it's a big thing for him, and it'll certainly help him progress because he'll sell tickets and generate interest, and there'll always be a spot for him on shows.
Yeah, and he plays his part for the charity as well, which is always good to see. It really promotes how people can become professional sportsmen, and he's proved that in there tonight, and it's been a good second rounder so far.
Yeah, and in terms of what he's been through outside the ring, nothing that can happen to him inside the ring is going to face him as such in the slightest, especially at this particular level. So he'll keep on racking up the wins, and as you say, the interesting thing will be when the rounds develop and his career develops, how far he can go.
Yeah, just as you were talking there, he landed a straight right hand to the body. It's probably his best shot of the bout so far. He picked that really nicely straight down the middle. And throughout the night, you've mentioned it before, the body punching's been key to everyone's success.
Yeah, and it's great to see. Obviously, the cliche is that the jab is a building block of boxing, but body punching as well is a good way of just getting yourself some dividends further down the line when the opponent's taken enough body shots for you to soften them up and try and take them away, or just take away their momentum. So it's nice to see that a lot of fighters up and down the country are still practicing the art of body punching, because there is a real art to it, and it's something that you do put yourself at risk when throwing shots to the body, because you can expose the head, so it's nice to see.
Yeah, and we mention it quite a lot, don't we? But when these guys step up over the longer distance, they'll really start to have more of an effect than they do now.
Yeah, we were talking previously with Danny that when the fighters go over the 10-round distance and start looking towards title fights, they need to start to be able to manage game management and how to read the fight and develop your ability to think your way through a fight rather than just going in there and throwing punches for 4 rounds knowing that you've got a short distance to cover.
Another round in the bank.
Yeah, that's 2-0 for Ali. The pace has not been as high as it was in his debut, but maybe that's something he's learned from his debut, how to pace himself a little bit better. So we might see a steady pace and a stronger 4th round than he produced last time.
Yeah, and it was certainly a better round, that second one, than the first, wasn't it? He landed his shots, the crisp shots, a little bit busier as well. You'd like to see him step it up again now, going into the second half of the fight. Now he's got that energy in the tank. Yeah,
he might do more of the same in round 3, then step up in round 4, knowing that the final bell is coming ever closer. But again, they're just checking on him between rounds to make sure that everything's as it should be.
10 seconds, corners.
Yeah, and Alex Matvienko in the corner. He's one of those underrated trainers, isn't he, on the scene at the moment, that does a great job with the lads he has.
Yeah, as you say, he's got a lot of fighters as well, and the fighters will all bounce off each other. People forget that Alex, he was known as the one-man riot, and he'd like to have a bit of a fight, but he could also box as well. It's just that he'd start off boxing, then get clipped on the chin and decide to go to World War III option.
Yeah, I've been in the gym a couple of times, and you can tell he really understands the game. He knows everything there is to know.
Yeah, he's got a good boxing brain. He's really close with Jamie Moore and Nigel Traffis, who are riding high at the moment as well. There's a lot of camaraderie. I've I've shared a fan home from a fight with those 3 characters, and I can tell you it was an interesting journey home. So it's good that they're all kind of bouncing off each other. The fighters are not just pushing each other on in the local area. The trainers as well are all bouncing off each other and pushing each other forward. My only gripe about Alex Matvienko is if I gave him a negative fight review back in the day, he'd ask me if I was drunk or I'd been drinking cough medicine before the fight, and I always assured him that wasn't the case. It was purely professional. But again, it just showed that he cared. Even back then, he cared. Small-time boxing writer was saying he needed to do X, Y, and Z. He'd have a look and accuse him of being drunk, but maybe go away and have a little think about his performances. And I'm sure he's like that as a trainer as well. He's a very analytical guy, Alex.
Just as you were talking there, Danny Little just opened up a little bit, threw a few shots of his own. We saw in the last one with Kane Gardner and Chris Adaway got stopped purely because he wasn't throwing enough, and the referee wasn't happy with that. And Danny Little's just letting the referee know that he's comfortable in there at the moment.
Yeah, and Adaway had a bit of a shouting match. He really disagreed with the stopping. He went over to Andy Whittle, the great boxing news scribe who covers more shows than I've had at meals. He went over to Andy and had a bit of a shout and a bit of asking whether the other board officials could have stepped in and overruled the referee, but it's when all the referee makes the decision, and that's that. And 9 times out of 10, I mean, there are premature stoppages that we've seen in British boxing rings, but a lot of the time the referee gives the fighter every opportunity to prove that they can fight on. And if the fighter doesn't take that opportunity, then the fight gets stopped and they have a bit of a shouting match and see if they can generate interest in a return if the fight's big enough.
Just stepping up Ali in here now. And like you said, I think he did save a little bit in the opening couple.
And Little may have this round felt a bit of a dip in the pace of Ali in the first minute of the round and maybe steps up himself, but as you say, Ali is completely taken over as you would expect.
Nice left hook to the body landing.
And it's good that he's trying doubling up with the hooks to the body as well there. Although takes a couple of shots to the head himself in that exchange.
Yeah, so far it's just been one of those performances. It's not setting the world on fire, but he's certainly getting the job done in there.
Yeah, and he'll be delighted with that. He should move to 2-0 after this fight. He might be hoping to maybe score knockouts as the fight progresses, but at the minute, every second that Ali is in the ring is a victory for him.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's played into his hands a little bit that Daniel had a bit more ambition in that third session.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want someone to open up a little bit, come at you and see if they can try and take a bit of the steam away from you.
Yeah, and when you talk to any prospect, they do prefer fighters that come and throw shots at you. It leaves openings, and Danny Little left a few openings then when he threw.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if Ali can come and build on that in the next round. As I say, I'm really looking forward to this 4th round to see if his pace is good in this 4th round. If he has a quiet 4th round again for the second fight in succession, that would be something people would look out for. Just want to mention as well, I don't know if anyone knows this, but Ali went to the same high school as the legendary, respected and award-winning journalist Sheldon Kay. So I don't know what they're putting in the tap water at that school, or they're knocking a couple of books out that the rest of us are not getting, but I might have to go back to that school myself and see if I can become an award-winning boxing, whatever I am at this moment in time.
No prizes for guessing who asked you to mention that.
Yeah, that was John Effens, that one. It definitely wasn't Sheldon himself.
Here we go then, the 4th and final round of this one, and I seem to be saying it a lot tonight, but bar anything dramatic, Ali's just cruising in there at the moment. That one was a little bit low.
Yeah, we've strayed a little below there, the referee didn't pick up on it.
It's all about just closing this one out now, isn't it? Fights like Danny Little, you're not going to just stop him with one shot. And a few low shots again from both men. Little warning from the referee. He's really targeting the left-hand side of Danny Little's body now, isn't he?
Yeah,
right up.
And Little's just put his hand there as well, as if to gesture that he's feeling a little bit of pain there.
And the tempo certainly stepped up now. In his debut it dipped. He certainly saved, like you said, and he's looked really sharp in this final round.
And at this point I should say I got a little bit of a telling off by the referee when I first came into the venue, because I said that he looks a bit like Mills Lane. I should have said he looks like a very young, very handsome version of Mills Lane, but I don't think he was happy with that, so let's just say he's a fine figure of a man who's doing a great job in this fight and all that he officiates. It's getting a bit messy as well in this round, it'll be good to see how Ali figures his way through that. He just got clipped with a shot as well.
Yeah, they've been drawn into a little bit of a war in the final round here, and neither man wants to take a back step. And whereas in the first couple, Danny Little was just happy to tuck up. I think he must have sensed something in there, because he's got a little bit of ambition now.
Yeah, and obviously we're outside the ring. We don't know 100% what's going on inside the ring, but as you say, for an opponent starts stepping up a little bit, he sensed something in terms of his opponent, maybe a weakness or something he can exploit. So Ali's just probably, the pace has dropped again in this fourth round. He had a very good start to the round, so it'll be interesting to see what he does for this final minute, if he carries on working the body or just maybe boxes behind the jab and closes this one down.
Yeah, and he's certainly got the first 3 rounds in the bank. He'll be looking to close this one out now as we enter the final minute.
A bit of a wrestle there as well, but the referee stepped in to sort that out.
It's been a decent performance this from Ali, hasn't it? Like I said before, it's been nothing special, but he's certainly got the job done.
Yeah, he's not set the world alight. He's just, as you say, been methodical, workmanlike, got the job done. Moved into 2-0 by the look of it, and I reckon he's got all 4 rounds in the bank in this one. Again, Little just gets a bit rough, but fighters it's a rough profession, so you have to kind of figure it out yourself sometimes in there. At some point in your career, you might get a referee who's not going to break. You have the opportunity, so you have to kind of work out how to fight inside and how to work away inside.
Yeah, and the referees in the Northwest tend to let you work on the inside, don't they?
Yeah, and that's a good thing, as I say, unless it becomes ridiculously excessive in terms of the clinching. You just give the fighters an opportunity to sort it out themselves.
Well, there we have it then. And Ali was just having a little word with the referee there. I'm not sure what about. He seemed unhappy about something.
Yeah, I think he was saying that Little was holding him, but like I say, that's for Ali to figure it out. He's in there. He's got one advantage over the referee in that he can punch his opponent, so that's one way of levelling the playing field. And just as we wait for the score to come in, just remember, if you want to get some boxing equipment, VIP boxing equipment designed by Jamie Moore, 30% off all boxing gloves and training equipment with the code VIPTV30, and that takes you right through and including the Black Friday. So don't be thinking of buying a dishwasher or any nonsense off Amazon. Get yourself an effie bag and some boxing gloves and take your frustration out on those, or maybe give it a bash and go to a gym once you've done a bit of training around the house.
Yeah, and you never know, one day we might see you in the ring here.
Yeah, you never know. We'll be plugging that 30% throughout the night as well. So any budding boxers out there, boxing equipment isn't always the cheapest stuff you can buy, so get on that as soon as possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of middleweight action, referee Jamie Kirkpatrick has scored the contest 40 points to 36 points for your winner. Now undefeated in 2 professional contests, hailing from Rochdale, Mohammed Ali.
So that's expected routine win there for Ali, who's still demonstrating a little bit with the referee, but I suppose it shows he's got passion as well.
Yeah, just as we expected. Shutout win. The second one of his career in his 2 professional fights. He'll be pretty happy with that one. Still 2 fights to go tonight.